Do you see here? Hi guys and gals. Well, I'm sitting in my office corner, so to call it, waiting for Mrs. DC to come back from work. What is it now? It's 8:30. I can feel the winter time. I mean, it's like 8:30. It was 9:30 because we've already changed, by the way, over here in Europe. And I can feel. I keep getting the impression it's later than it is. Yeah, my body's telling me it's 9:30. I wish that one day, they'll stop that. I was talking with people. They saying that they might do it here in Europe, but they, as a typical European thing, not doing it well. And sometimes they're probably going to let every country do what they want. So could you imagine the chaos? I mean, in a sense, in that respect. But whatever, we'll see. Now, I was watching a few tag videos from Dave Nicholson. I haven't done a tag video in a long time. I don't know if I will end up doing the whole one, but there were a few. There was one that was a cartoon tag that kind of seemed a bit of fun, and then there's another one called, well, just simply Dave's tag, and it's from August, so it's a long ways off. But there's a few simple questions. Let me just answer some of them, and we'll see. So one of them, it was about, well, do you have any tattoos? That's pretty quickly answered. I don't, actually. You're hanging with your closest friends. What are you most likely doing? Having a drink. I mean, we could put it this way around. If I'm with my closest friends here, we probably be having a drink and chatting and rediscovering the world and so on, something like that. If I'm with my closest friends, YouTuber friends, so I can immediately say, for example, if it's Tweetness, we will be geocaching, most probably, and being silly, something like that. Yeah. Now, you could say you didn't mention your family or what. No, I'm just like, I'm keeping the definitions in that way, the friends, whatever. Anyway. Okay, now, can you handle spicy foods? What is your spice limit? I wouldn't know what my spice limit was, but yeah, I can handle pretty spicy foods. I remember when, I always liked spicy foods, and I'm the one in the family, of course, that really eats the most spicy food. I have to be really careful when I have to lower the levels. But when I was, for example, in Africa, they have really spicy food over there. And it was kind of funny because they were like being worried, and the African lady that I was, the couple that we were with, and the lady, she's African, she'd tell her African friends, oh, don't worry about him. And yeah, it is very spicy. There's no doubt about it. And I probably can't eat as spicy as, for example, Dave can, but I can eat pretty spicy food. Yeah. I don't always enjoy it. I like it. When curries, still have some taste left, and it's just not the burn. But I do like it. I like it when it's spicy enough to really get your senses going. Those who eat spicy food know what I mean. Can you play any musical instruments, and which ones? Well, as most people, I can probably play the recorder. We all had to do that in school, so I can play that. Well, I can't play it well, but I can play it. And I can play the piano a little bit, like, baby level, something like that. I had taken some few lessons and pretty well forgot everything in the meantime. Then are you more introverted or extroverted? Oh, well, I would say I'm kind of a mixture of both. It's a funny thing, actually. When it's like right now, I'm on my own, and I'm going to put this stuff up, and I don't mind other people seeing it. Maybe not automatically work colleagues. That's other reasons, but I don't have any problem with people telling me they've seen my videos, or even vlogging in planes, or vlogging as I'm walking, or vlogging. So you can see is that extroverted? I'm doing it on my own. People look at me. I'm introverted, like for example, at lunch. I don't like eating with people over the lunchtime. I like going off on my own and eating together, and I'm not really that good at small talk, although I certainly have gotten a lot better. But in that respect, I'd probably be more introverted. Is it a bit of shyness? I mean, I don't have any problems with public speaking. But does that make me extroverted? When I'm finished, because I'm doing it on my own. I guess you see what I mean. So, what does that make me? Introvert, extrovert, a mixture of everything? I like to talk with people, but I just don't always like small talk all that much. That's probably where the problem is of the introverted thing. Now let me see if I'm going to try and get a few other things. Dave had... Oh, let me see the cursor. Going to back up. And there was... sorry, I'm just like, working on it a bit here. We'll take some of them. There was the cartoon tag, which was kind of cute. Of course, I won't find it. I might be coming up to it. Cartoon tag, here it is. Okay. Okay.
Okay, cartoon tag for Henrik. It's been a while since...
Okay, so I will just put up the questions. Okay. Some of these I can't actually answer because I don't always know. What was the first cartoon you remember watching with friends? Was that it? No. First cartoon you ever remember watching? It's a difficult one. I mean, there were cartoons on Captain Kangaroo. You might remember those. I can't even remember quite the names now. Tom Terrific, for example, might be one of the first ones, if anybody even knows what that is anymore. Yogi Bear. Yogi Bear was one I used to watch. And what was the name of the dog? Huckleberry something? Huckleberry? You know the one I mean. They're with the Hanna-Barbera ones. A cartoon you've recently rediscovered. One of the things I've rediscovered because I was like, I got it back. I mean, was for example, Rocky and Bullwinkle or Underdog. Rocky and Bullwinkle was really cool. Yeah, it really was. But I've got it on DVD. That's why I can say I've rediscovered it. Our cartoon you wish would come back in reruns. It might actually be the same one that Dave was talking about. I really, really like the Flintstones. And the Flintstones, that was probably the only cartoon that was as good when it was translated into French. Because, when I was brought up in Quebec, so there was also the Flintstones in French. But they had translated into Quebec French, and they had basically transliterated it. So it was all actual French culture around like we were. And whenever now and then, if you would see it, sometimes for whatever reason, we would see a French from France version of it, and it sucked. I mean, I would never have watched the Flintstones in Parisian French or whatever. But in Quebec French, it was as good as the English ones were. Probably one of the rare shows that I would dare say that. Okay. Favorite cartoon character? Well, favorite cartoon character? I know Dave talked about Bugs Bunny. I liked him a lot, I do admit. But would he be my favorite? It might end up being the Flintstones as a whole, but I know what he means by favorite cartoon character. Yeah, we were brought up with Bugs Bunny quite a bit, weren't we? Yeah, he's up there. He's up there for sure. Cartoon you would never want to see again. There were some really dumb ones like the Gophers. I don't remember the name of it exactly. They weren't really good. They weren't even funny or nothing like that. He mentioned He-Man. Actually, I didn't like He-Man all that much, but I did like She-Ra. Not only for the obvious reasons, but I found it was actually better than the He-Man one, which was not really very good. And actually, those are cartoons. We were older, not really. Okay, character you identify with most? I don't know. Can't answer that one. I don't really know. I mean, as a kid, I don't know. Comic books don't count like cartoons in a way because, cartoons were on the television. So, favorite superhero? Well, let me see. On the cartoons, Because, I mean, we could say, I mean, we have to stay with cartoons, and cartoons are I mean, like, you know, the Hanna-Barbera type thing, stuff like that. There were some early Superman ones, which I liked a lot, and but they were really old. They were really old. I think actually the one I liked a lot then was Mighty Mouse. I just remembered that. Mighty Mouse was a lot of fun. Was I answering favorite superhero? I think it was, maybe. Yeah, so maybe, you know, Mighty Mouse, Underdog. Those are really funny little cartoons. I said Bullwinkle and Rocky. Rocky wasn't quite a superhero. No. So, you know, Mighty Mouse was pretty good. Mighty Mouse was cool. What life show could you work in as a cartoon? Since I don't watch any television anymore, I don't know. I could. Let me see. No, you know, I can't really answer that one. I don't watch any television anymore. And so I like the superhero genre, as you know. I mean, because I make my own comic books. But comic books don't count. They're not quite cartoons. Yeah. Okay, so that's about it. I mean, I know Halloween's coming up, so I hope you all have a great time at Halloween. For some of us, I mean, there was a Halloween tag. I didn't actually go. I should have done that one, shouldn't I? But otherwise, we'll end up having a 20-minute video, so I better stop. And I hope you're all well. I mean, I was just kind of spending some time with you as the introverted person that I was, you know, just sitting in my corner, looking around. Okay, DC signing off. Take care, everybody, and enjoy having people over, children, or I hope that Halloween can still be something like it was when we were kids. Bye-bye.